So I did the front bar.
Oh, yeah, someone put a photo on a Facebook group. I didn't know you were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if anyone wants to join our Facebook group, there is one for Somehow Related. Just ask and I'll admit you in. Glenn's not on there, but you're not on there.
What do you mean?
You're not on Facebook.
Oh, not on Facebook.
But occasionally I'll take photos of the post and send them to Glenn, and Glenn will comment on them.
Yeah. It's nice that it's, I get a bit scared looking at it because,
Oh, there's a big community. Oh, they're very positive. A lot of the Kath and Kim talk, when that's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someone took a photo of you on front bar and put it on.
Oh, good. Okay. So something really weird happened. That you've done a lot of live television. I have too.
Yeah. Sam Pang was nice to you on air. He's nice off air, but on air he's got all that.
So if you don't realise, it's actually 100% live. There isn't much live television anymore. I mean, all the panels
used to be.
Hey, yeah.
But sometimes they would pre-tape it. Not often.
Yeah, sometimes they would.
Yeah. The panel was.
The
project is.
The project is it?
Yeah, that's live. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, good on them.
Adam Hill show used to be live.
Okay.
But there's not many. There's not.
No, there's not many. No. The news is live.
The news is live.
So there's no going back. You can't.
Oh yeah, no.
You can't do a retake.
That's good in a way.
Oh yeah, it's good.
And also, they don't make you hang around for 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And look, you're in safe hands. You got Pang, you got Malloy, you're in
Andy,
you're in safe hands. So I was on doing the segment, and then I hear thunk, and I go, "Oh my God, one of the lights is seriously going to fall off." And then I hear there's a noise, and the back wall of the studio starts to open up.
Oh wow!
And
someone's hit a button.
Well, yes, they have.
Oh.
Guess who it was? I mean, you won't guess, but
you?
No, it was the cleaner.
Oh. I just what's this button here?
So she's come in and gone, where do you want, I won't put a voice on, where do you want me to clean tonight? And the studio manager would have gone, okay, that studio there, that's the live one. Don't clean that one. Okay.
Yeah.
But the one behind it, you can clean that one. Okay, I'll clean that one. And how do I get in that? Don't worry, you'll work it out. So she's just wandered in there.
Really?
Pushed the wrong button. She couldn't get in, and then she couldn't get. So the opening of the door was hitting a bit of equipment. And if you watch it back, you'll see through the glass door someone run to see what's going on. But on TV.
Was this during your segment?
My segment, yeah.
Oh.
And I was about to do my surfing story.
Oh,
and I was about to do because there was that footage on the TV of the Joel Parkinson, not on the TV, on YouTube, of the Parkinson brothers. You've seen that bit of footage where he surfs?
Yeah, and grabs the guy and pushes him off the board.
Yeah.
That's great. Is that his brother?
His brother or his cousin or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was going to tell my Fiji story where I ran the Brazilian Olympian down on a surf ski, and we had photographs and everything. So the cleaner
ruined it. So what, did everyone's focus just go to the...
Well, audience could see it, hear it, and maybe see it a little bit like I could. And but the home audience, you couldn't hear it at home.
And did Sam and Mick go, hang on, what's going on?
Yeah, Mick said, something's happening. It was like an earthquake. It
was like Then your first thought is this an emergency?
Yeah. And I looked up, and I was young. I could just see, because with studios, the whole wall goes across. I'm going.
So then what happened? Did they get back to your segment? Or?
No, we had to jump to the end, which was fine. You
still get paid.
Yeah, I should get paid more. Anyway. Yeah, duress. Yeah, and so there you go. That's showbiz. But we did the thing, and we did the Russell Coit dance and everything. But hey, don't worry about that. Anyway, so it was a
live experience.
Yeah. Have you ever had anything happen live when you run around naked in the backyard? That was live, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pre-taped. Actually, that was for Adam Hill's. The funniest thing I happened live was we used to do these live crosses to Adam Hill's show, which was live as well as on the show was live.
Yeah.
And so we went to this, he would get an audience member and then he would say, oh, we're actually at your house right now.
Yeah.
Because they're pre-filled forms. And so her story was that she used to ring her cat and leave voice messages for it. And so I went to the house in a cat costume, right?
Good gig.
Yeah. And her sister was there and she's like, don't pick up the cat. All right. The cat's freaking out a bit because of the cat costume. Don't pick up the cat. And I said to Mark O'Toole, who was helped directing and writing it, he's another comedian, I said, Mate, this is a good thing about live crosses.
Yeah.
They can tell you what to do, but once the cameras are on,
Yep, you're the boss.
do what you want,
yeah,
man.
I used to do those.
Yep. And so I picked up the cat. I said, Adam, I'm here at Sarah's house. And Sarah's like, oh my God, and I've got your cat right here. I'll pick it up. And it did that thing like a cartoon. It went, meow, and jumped up. And she's like, where's my cat gone? I'm like, I think it's on the highway. I think it's fine.
Yeah, boom. Oh, sorry.
Oh, man, the cat, I remember someone said it was one of the funniest things because the cat did that literal cartoon movement where it jumped up.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
See, the thing, we're just legends, really, because the things we put up with, the work that we do, we sit in this studio here.
Oh,
It's very hot outside. And
it's hot in here.
It's hot in here. We do the things we do to bring entertainment to
you
people.
To you people.
I don't know, really.
We're legends.
Are we Australians of the year? You and I.
Possibly.
Maybe you and I should be king and queen of Moomba. Maybe kings.
Oh, you would have been asked. Yeah, you've been asked. I haven't been asked, but
you would be a great king of Moomba.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've spoke. Chrissy did it last year.
Yeah.
Chrissy Swan, who I work
Fifi.
with.
Oh, we're talking about Victoria here.
Yeah,
Moomba,
the Moomba parade.
Yeah.
And then
Fifi Box did it with
she's
Peter
doing it
Hitchener.
this year. Peter Hitchener. That's coming up.
It hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet.
Ah, right.
But it sounds to me like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's possibly no payment in the. Is it something you do for the love of it?
Well, I did it.
Did it?
I did it as Kel 1 year.
Oh, were you the king of Moomba?
Not the king, but it was that's what I agree. And it was a tribute to Australia float. And there were all these other people, and then there was Calder standing there working the barbecue. And people were kind of going, I don't quite get it. I think that's Russell Coit, is it?
What's going on over there? Oh, the barbecue gives it away.
Yeah, so you do a lot of waving, and a lot of kids get held up to look at you.
Yeah.
And it takes some time, and then you get up the other end and walk back to your car. And
yeah.
go.
Yeah, no thanks. No
Yeah.
thanks. Oh, here comes the music. Oh, my God.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Anyway, here we are, another episode, and
We're painting a picture of showbiz. Showbiz is a lot better than we make out. But
well,
things
no,
do go wrong.
things do go wrong. It's true. I broke my leg on a BMX at a radio stunt.
Yep.
That was the highlight.
Yep.
Anyway, we get two topics. We've got to work out how they're related. Let's just get straight into it. What are the topics, Sam?
Mining and tacos.
And that's been sent in by a listener too, Paul Moffat. Oh, thanks very much for that. Mining and tacos. When was the last time you had tacos? Do you reckon?
Now, let me get this right. Tacos are hard.
Well, the ones we have here are, but when you go to Mexico, they're soft. And now you go to the trendy Mexican restaurants, they're soft.
So
shells.
what's a tortilla?
No, that's different again.
So you can have because I've had a fish taco at our local fish and chip shop.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful. And
was it a soft shell or a hard shell?
soft?
Yeah.
I'm not a hard shell guy. I don't get the hard shell.
Oh, you don't like the hard shell?
Well,
It's like a giant corn chip.
Yeah, so you actually, it's like it comes on a plate shaped to hold the food, and then you bite it, and the plate breaks. Yeah. You're going, that's ridiculous.
It's a very good point, but when I was in Mexico,
of course you were.
The hard shells are not a thing. It's all soft shells mainly. I think the Americans introduced the hard shells.
I think the Americans came in and sort of took it over because it was not I was going to say peasant food, but it was like a working class food, wasn't it?
It was. It's a street vendor food.
Yeah. And it was what we call one-handed food.
Yeah, so you could eat it and walk, and
Yeah.
eat it or work, or eat it and drive. And
Yeah.
I mean, a good taco. I made it the other night. We have the hard shells because the kids like it. Oh, beautiful. You don't need meat. You don't have to have meat.
Let's go through what you can put in it.
Okay. Well,
Mince meat. You can mince meat.
Bit of Mexican spice.
Yeah, with that, or you can have chicken
or fish.
Fish. I mean, I had my first fish taco in Hawaii, where they. Oh my god.
Good.
Oh my god, melt in your mouth.
Pork. I've had pork ones before.
No. And now there's a bit of coleslaw, cabbage.
No, well, you can have cabbage, but often the traditional ones here, it's like it goes beans or meat.
Oh yeah.
Tomato, lettuce.
Yep.
Avocado, sour cream.
Yep.
And a bit of chili sauce. That's it, I think.
And then you don't want to overfill.
No.
You've got to ration properly because you can't go heavy on the meat because you've got nothing left then for your avocado in there.
Avocado's in there. Guacamole.
Guacamole.
I find what happens at our
that's
house.
sauce, some sort of chili.
Yeah, chili sauce.
Yeah.
Salsa.
Salsa.
What I find happens at our house is that I make all the ingredients for the kids to make their own.
Yeah, you put it all out. Oh, yeah, it's fun.
And then the kids all, it's like a bloody smorgasbord. They're all like, I'm sitting there eating, there's a kid looming over me. So what I say to them, make them all at the same time.
So how many do you get? What would be your outing? Three?
Three, yeah. My oldest son, 4.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
Oh.
Because I reckon you do your blend on your first and you go, you know what?
Change it up a bit.
Change it up. But you don't know that until you get the second one.
I turned to my dad, sit down. Don't bloody loop, sit down.
See, I've actually, I should lose my license really because sometimes I will just put it on the plate and eat it.
Oh.
See, I should have to eat out the back if I'm doing that.
So you don't use the shell or you don't use a...
Well, as I said before, I don't like the shell.
Oh, so
if there's a soft option in there with a warm, soft, whatever that's called, what is that called?
It's still a taco.
It's still a taco. If there's a soft shell, like Alex, friend of the show, breakfast time, he
would be an expert.
He's an expert. He makes a beautiful taco with egg.
Oh.
A little bit of chili. And it is divine. And again, walk up, pick it up, walk out the back, wander around, and it's in a tube. Bang. Job done.
Yum.
I mean, why aren't they? Why can't you? As we've said, someone should be doing it in a restaurant like this. Tacos undervalued in Australia.
It's true. It's true. But you do notice there are a lot of new trendy ones popping up. I've noticed, but you're right. It's not like in America and Mexico. You get tacos everywhere.
That's right.
Everywhere.
And what's good about them is they're not big. Whereas a lot of the time you go buy a wrap here, it's as big as your fucking arm.
Yes,
it's huge.
true.
I mean, and I can't eat all that. And it's so much bread, whereas with your taco, it's not too much bread.
No.
What is it? It's a
thin wrap kind of the one that you're talking about,
and it's so soft. Oh,
you love it
as compared to your crunchy.
Does he make his own bread, Alex, or does he just buy it in the packet?
I mean, you can buy them in the supermarket. It's so good.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then the Americans kind of made it their own, didn't they?
There's chains like Taco Bell and When I was in LA with Husing, oh Jesus Christ, and we went for a tour. We had to find something to do, so we went for a tour of NBC Studios, and it was really, excuse my language, a bit shit. The tour, you know,
the NBC Studios, but that's where they do all the the Tonight Show and everything. Yeah.
We saw Jay Leno's car, but you couldn't really go anywhere.
Anywhere you sort of go, that's where that happens.
Take us around, and you go, okay, that's Jay Leno's car. Yeah. Okay, that's where they used to film Days of Our Lives. It's like, oh, this is pretty average. You know, it was pretty average tour. But then anyway, we were looking for someone to eat, and I just asked some guy on the street, I mean, where can you eat around here? And he goes, see that Mexican restaurant? I go, yeah, that's a chain. And he goes, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a chain. But I tell you who's cooking in there, Mexicans.
Oh, so they know what they're doing.
And he said, you go in there, the food is great. And he was right.
Oh,
it was
interesting.
bloody beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you've got these guys that have grown up, their mum and dad used to cook that food. They're cooking that food.
What was in Breaking Bad, what was that restaurant?
It was chicken, wasn't it?
It was a chicken. It wasn't taco.
In the latest Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's a taco restaurant.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's a taco restaurant. But that was that was chicken.
Oh, chicken.
That was a chicken restaurant.
The special type of chicken. Yeah. But they have that. They have those restaurants. I mean, I'm sure it had good food, but there's the vinyl table, the tables, and the like the booths.
Oh, in Mexico, some of the tacos there were great. You just buy them off the street. Beautiful.
When you go to the plot, you look around and you go, this originated here. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. And it was just such a nice. I was only in Mexico City for a little bit, and people were so friendly. You know, you read all these things like it's so dangerous. I didn't feel that danger at all.
But then again, you probably didn't
realise what was going on.
Yeah, probably. Maybe not. I've heard stories.
It was all right.
But, yeah. What else can we say?
Tacos, there used to be a Taco Bill at the end of our street. Taco Bill, and my son used to say, I've never been to Taco Bill's, Dad. I've never tasted it. And what I used to say, mate, you're 16, you can be the head chef there next year if you want. So, because we got a really average version of Mexican food in the 80s, didn't we?
It was
stodgy,
sloppy,
big bowls of nachos.
Yeah. And it didn't itself a disservice.
Yeah.
Because if you've been to a good Mexican restaurant like you have, you really.
Alex must he must, what's the word, anguish about the lack of.
Well, I think so.
Yeah, there are some good ones, though, in Melbourne.
Yeah.
There are. I've never been to them, but I've heard.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about mining.
Mining.
I've never,
Jeez.
the only mine, actually, been to Sovereign Hill.
Oh, yeah, well, that's as good as it gets.
Well, no, they've got a real mine. They found a real mine under the site,
Okay,
and you can go down into the mine. It's
Yep.
great.
There's a lot of around that whole area. There's old mines. You have to watch out that you don't
Fall down.
If you're wandering through the paddocks, you might fall down one.
A mine shaft.
Yeah.
And then when I went on the school camp, we went to the old coal mine. This is the tour in Wonthaggi with the primary school kids. And an actual miner, you walk into the mine. It's great. If you're ever in the Wonthaggi, it's near Phillip Island area in Victoria, go on the mine tour. It's really interesting.
And it was a little a track, or was it just walking?
You walk down and then you get a little train out.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. An old miner takes you around, a former miner takes you around and shows you stuff. Really interesting.
And was it scary?
Well, when you get
Did you have a headlamp?
Yes, we had headlamps. Yeah, I was pretty excited. Then one of the little kids, it was a bit annoying. Grade 5, said, I need to go to the toilet. And the guy's like, mate, no one goes to the toilet down here except miners. This kid goes, well, I'm a miner, I'm 10.
Come back. Bang.
The miner's like, Anyway, that kid disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, have you been in a mine?
I'm just trying to think. I don't think I have.
Have you been on a mine tour?
No. I've been to Sovereign Hill, and I don't think I think I panned for gold, and that was about it. We had a mine. We had an open cut mine in Anglesey.
You can still see that.
You can see
from
it
the road.
Yeah, and we used to go up there, and they had, I don't know why, but they had mud pools up there.
Oh yeah.
So you had the thick mud. I don't know. It must be because they dug down to a certain level that mud was coming up, and then they had the thinner, silty mud, and so that you could just go and people would go up there. Carloads of people would go back and jump into these mud pools. They're about the consistency of uncooked cake. Seriously.
What?
I'm serious.
That used to be a fun afternoon.
Absolutely. It was fantastic. You just go plop into the mud and just roll around and get up, and you'd be incredibly heavy. And then you would go into the mine, which was very dangerous, and then dive into the mine itself.
Wow.
Full of water, and wash yourself up. And then there was the lighter one, which you could float around. That was a bit like a flotation tank.
Was it still operating? No, it mustn't have been.
I think it was. Maybe it was just a different section that they were working in another section. But and nowadays you can't get anywhere near it.
Did some bloke turn up and go, hey, get out of there, you idiots? That didn't happen? Or?
No, it was just carloads. When there was no surf, mud pools today.
Really?
Yep. And you go there and you go plop.
I've never heard this.
And there is a thing called mud wrestling, is there not?
Yeah, of course.
So when the girls turned up and the guys, it was a bit like, not that you would wrestle, but it would suck your bathers off.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was like, and then the mud would get in everywhere.
Oh, horrible. Then you have to drive back and have a shower.
Oh, well, it could wash off pretty, except I think it was closed down because if you dived down into the water, it got very cold. There's this feeling like you couldn't float.
Yeah.
And I think someone drowned there. So I think that they probably stepped in.
Could be all the aluminium minerals in that water killing you.
It was weird. It was really strange. But no, so that's the only mine I've been into. Open cut. So
open cut.
Open cut.
Yeah, we used to go on tours when there was a kid. We used to go to your lawn and go to the open cut mine.
Well, you see that that's BHP, isn't it? I mean, what do we mine in Australia? What have we got? We've got iron ore,
nickel,
coal,
gold,
aluminium.
Often,
steel.
I did this gig once in Ballarat at the Ballarat Turf Club, which is the racetrack. And I sat on the table with these guys, and their job was to mine a slag heap. So that's all the stuff they get out of the mine.
Yeah.
But now with technology, they missed some stuff in that slag heap. So they were mining a slag heap in Creswick. How's that?
Good gig.
Mining the slag heap.
Gosh.
Now, and so often mines, I know this because I've done gigs for miners. They mine several different minerals at the same time.
Didn't we do a Zoom gig for some miners?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
they loved it. They loved you. They were all in Karratha and Port Hedland and all those places.
And it was a time when they were obviously their job is kind of like being in lockdown because they go to work and then go back to their little cabin. And then watch a bit of telly, sleep, and then go back to work.
Yeah, it's like 10 days on, 10 days off kind of thing. Yeah,
hard yards.
Oh, it's a tough life when I've stayed in one of those camps, and food's good. Food's really good.
Would want to be, wouldn't it?
The canteen had different countries of the world, so you go, I might go to Greece tonight.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
I'm going to go to Italy tonight. Yeah.
Dave, we're going now. The tour's over. We're going to, you know what? I might
hang around.
Yeah, I might hang around. I'm off to Italy later on today. And
Getting a job in the mine.
I guess we all turned to mines with Beaconsfield, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. That was terrible. Todd and Brandt.
Todd Webb.
Webb and
Todd
Brandt.
Russell. No,
Todd Russell and Brandt Webb.
Brent Webb, Todd
Yeah,
Russell.
Brandt
yes.
Webb. Yeah, because I auditioned for that telemovie. Yeah, that's right.
And it went to Shane Jacobson and
Yeah. Okay. You're having a noble moment. Yeah. The guy speaks like that. And he does a voice for Fox Footy. Yeah. He was in Chase for Skase.
Yeah.
We've brought him up on here before,
and we had to look it up.
And we had to
Lockie Hume.
Oh!
I knew it was there. Pop.
Anyway, so we went to the audition, and it's just like in an office somewhere, and they're professional casting agents.
You were perfect for the role.
Well, you'd think so, but it was so funny. So he had to learn lines, and then he goes, "All right, now lie on the floor and pretend you're in the cage." I pretend you're in the cage. I'm like, I'm no good at that kind of dramatic. Oh, okay, you're stressed. What's happening now? You're stressed. You know, I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, reassure Todd, because I was auditioning for Brand. Yeah. Reassure Todd. Todd, it's okay, man. We're going to get out. No, reassure him. Todd, we're going to get out. I saw it on Sunrise. Kochi meets us at the top. Guy's like, anyway, thanks for that, mate. And we'll be in touch. So
hard yards to do that sort of shit.
It's a hard gig. But that was amazing. I remember watching that when they came out of. I would have been on radio when that happened.
Yeah, it was like early in the morning or through middle of the night sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was early in the morning.
Yeah,
it was early in the morning.
Yeah, and they did that really cool thing where they
walked down and put their key or whatever it is, their card or whatever they call it.
Such heroes, such real men. And was it 2 weeks or something they were down there in a space about the size of this studio?
Have you met them, those guys?
No.
Yeah, I've met them. Yeah.
How are they? Just normal blokes,
mate. We're just average blokes, mate. We're just average blokes. Because I was doing radio with Sean McAuliffe. That's right. And Sean asked a kind of sort of an intellectual approach.
Yeah.
And then they just went, mate. We're just normal blokes, mate. Yeah. We don't get what you're talking about, you know. But I don't. They go and do talks now, where they go and. Yeah. But I don't think they do it together. They just do it separately.
It would be fascinating. I mean, to hear it from them would be absolutely fascinating. I mean, they were in an area like in a cage. Really, that's what saved them.
Yeah.
And they were doing everything in the cage, which was
everything.
Everything.
Well, one of them didn't go to the toilet for 5 days. Todd, hold on. He said he held on. But the other one had to go.
So thinking about explosions in the mine. That'd kill a canary. That would kill a canary.
Oh, it's amazing they got him out, really.
It's amazing. What else can we say?
Well, I don't know much about mining. Should we talk? You know who knows about mining? I'm thinking of comedians. Nick Capper. You know Capper with the curly hair?
Great comedian, yeah.
He used to work in a mine in Kalgoorlie or somewhere. So
could you give him a ring?
Yeah, we could call him. Should we call him?
Call him.
Call him.
Get the real deal.
Yeah, because we can talk all we like, but let's speak to an actual miner.
Yeah. Would he mind?
No, he's a comedian. What would he be doing? Not much. He's probably back from Adelaide. Fringe has been on. He might be there. I don't know. See if he's around.
Yeah.
The King. Well, very funny man. You've seen him.
Very funny man. He might bring back horror things for him.
Oh, it could be triggering for him.
Yeah. You never know.
Hello.
Is that Nick Capper?
Yes, it is me.
This is Dave and Glenn Robbins here.
Dave and Glenn Robbins.
I'm not his brother.
Not married. It's our podcast, and what Dave is trying to say is our podcast somehow related. And we have to say, do you mind coming on and chatting to us? Because Dave knows something about you that's pertinent to what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I want you to talk about working in a mine. So you worked in mines, is that right, Capper?
Yeah. I worked in a nickel mine in Kalgoorlie, Western Australia. Yeah.
How far underground was that?
I think it was around 2 Ks.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it was a long time ago. It was I think it was it might have even been deeper, but I can't remember. But yeah, it was around 2 Ks. It was a long way.
What did you do? What was your job?
So I started off as a nipper. So what you do is you have these.
It's like isn't that life saving? A nipper, the little nippers. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Sometimes when the water fills up, they need someone to get in there. They put me in the the
mine between the flags, guys.
Just down the speedos, and just. So it's a crazy process to describe but they have these machines, right? And they drill holes. So basically what you want to do is you want to blow up a section at a time to make the shaft.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's just say you've got the wall and then you put holes in the wall. Then you fill those holes up with dynamite. You blow it up. Then that wall, you clear it out, make another wall, fill the holes up. But while you're doing that, you're securing all the roof and everything.
So what's a nipper do then?
So the nipper, when they have these machines that drill, you put the different bits on the drills while the drill operator he operates like it looks like a bloody, I don't know, like a what do you say, like a robot.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's got arms and they have all different drills, and then you just keep replacing these drill bits.
Were you good at that? Were you good as a drill bit replacer guy or
nipper?
Oh, it's real weird, the dynamic, because I came from a farm and I wasn't good at farming. I wasn't good at it. But when you get to the mines, they really spoil you. So I was the king. They just loved me. They thought I was the hardest worker they'd ever seen.
And that's okay. The big question, did you ever suffer from claustrophobia, or were you ever scared for your life? Did anything happen? Not that you would want to, but how did you cope with being 2K under the ground?
Yeah, it was hard because once you turn your helmet light off, you can't see in front of your face. Like it's pitch black, like no matter where you are.
Oh.
But I kind of like the adrenaline of it. I love all of that stuff. Sometimes every, I don't know, 50 meters or something, they have these isolation chambers. So that it's like basically a freight container that's ventilated to the top, and sometimes they just call you and they go, everyone to the isolation chamber.
Yeah,
there could be some bad gas or something like that. And at the first couple, you're like, "Ooh, this is a bit scary."
Yeah.
But then after like 10 of them, you're just sitting for hours with a bunch of guys that are like totally devoid of personality. And they've just got stacks of those Ralph and Zoo magazines. And, it all just becomes the same article after a while. So they're like, it's got like a girl, and they interview the girl, and they're like, "So you work in a zoo?" And she's like, "Yeah, I work in a zoo." "What kind of sex do you have at the zoo?" You know what I mean? It was always that, "Oh, so you're a mechanic." "Oh, ever had it off with another mechanic?"
And were you involved with the explosives or?
Yeah, man. So because they liked me and I worked pretty hard, they put me into explosives. So so what happens is, it's the best. It was so cool. It was like being in a movie. You put the dynamite in the holes, right, and then you run the wick.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's like an actual wick.
Into the box with the push down thing. Have you ever?
Yeah, it was. You have these switches, these two switches, and it's so cool. And what you do is, because the shaft is like a tree, right? So you got the main trunk, and then you got all these little branches that go off to find the nickel. And so what you do is let's say you put the dynamite at the end of one branch, then you drive to the main shaft, and you'll have the wick going all the way to the main shaft. Then you sit in the ute, turn the switches, it blows up, and then drive as fast as you can to the top.
Sounds scientific.
Wow. When they do your biopic, your life story, that's got to be the opening, the opening scene, I reckon.
And did you take chances though? Did you start to get blasé with explosives or?
Yeah, like any job, you're just like, yeah, that'll do. Or put a bit too much in there. Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
Now,
what happened one time?
Oh, sorry.
One time there was just a little hole that we had to do, like a little one in a roof.
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Oh, don't even worry about, driving too far back. Let's just stand behind the ute." And
she'll be
then
right.
we just got blown
Really?
Just got lifted like 5 meters back.
Oh.
Like just all this dust and I woke up and I was just holding on to this guy's ass.
As you would.
It was in a fetal position. I was just holding on to it.
It's like Zoo magazine all over.
yeah, I was thinking of like Pompeii. You know, Pompeii.
Yes, Pompeii. Yes, they found the
Like
bodies.
me.
That's it. You could have died there, obviously.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. We had a good laugh about it, and I think that was my last day on the job, and I was like, "Oh, this is the newspaper article where they're like, oh yeah, bloody." It was his last day on the job and then took a risk.
Why did you decide to leave? Because you said they liked you. Why did they like you? Were the other workers no good, or?
Yeah, they're just complainers. They're just like, well, I guess on the farm you just don't. No one does anything for you. You got to get there yourself. You got to bring your own tools and things. And there they've got a nice bus that picks you up in the morning to drive you to your job. And then you get to the safety meeting. They all complain about the bus. The bus sucks. There's a step that's a little rickety on the bus. They all carry on like they're these big tough bikey guys, but really when they get the chance to complain, they love it. So if you just put your head down and work, they love that. So yeah, I left because it was good, but I should have. When you work in the underground, like my brother, he did the induction with me in the underground, and then he's like, I got to get out of here. Yeah. There is no way I'm coming down to this because it's like 45 degrees as well, the heat. Oh. Yeah, so he's like, there's no way I'm doing this. This is the worst. He left and he became he helped out the geologists on top of the ground.
Smart. Yeah, that's good.
And that was far better because, you're with a lot of people from the unis and stuff, whereas I was with people that were always running from things. Like... Yeah, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I don't know, I beat up this guy and then I had to leave my town, or I knocked up this girl and then I had to leave. I've got to do this, and had to leave. So it was all like this was their last option. So there's no sarcasm, none. Like I tried 3 times for sarcasm. It was just met with a really bad response,
Yeah.
Did you take your own lunch?
Yeah, you have to take it. Yeah.
So you did take your own lunch. They didn't supply it. It wasn't like a canteen down there or like a trolley or anything that went around.
No, nothing like that, mate. It was pretty wild. Take that and hydrolyte. You take a big stack of those hydrolyte things.
Yeah, right.
Because you just ran out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. Like I always wanted to go back there. If I had a partner, I would go back there because the rent's so expensive. You got to share a room with somebody. So I had to share a room with my brother, and we stayed in a tent for the first bit of it, but it was that hot that the tent would heat up. So you come back to your tent and it would be like so hot. Even at night, your sleeping bag would be boiling. Yeah.
You're real men. Seriously, you're real men. You really are.
Technical question. How do they get the nickel out of so you're blasting, didn't they just collect all the rocks and take it away and get the nickel out? Is that how they do it? Or?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So they just blow up the rocks. That's another job that I nearly got called, I think it's called rock picking or sample picking, where you just go through the rocks and just bundle it up. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was so cool. But it was like so weird because we drove in a Daihatsu Charade from Moree to Western Australia. It took us like 6 days. And along the way, we always stayed in these shit hotels and stuff, and or caravan parks, and they'd always tell us about the big Kalgoorlie, like, "Ooh, going to Kalgoorlie, the wild town." It was like every stop was like being in a movie. Like everyone's sleeping with each other's wives. There's so many prostitutes there, a lot of drugs. Like every place we went to, I was like, "Yeah, I heard in Kalgoorlie they got a bit of gold out of the ground as big as your fist, and no one's told anyone about it." Like it's all. It's this weird fucking town, man. It's a weird town.
I like Kalgoorlie. It's great. Hey, well, thanks for talking to us. Give us an insight into mining, and we should plug your comedy festival show in Melbourne.
Absolutely.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a show called D's Nut.
What? D's Nut?
D's Nut, yeah. Apparently it's a rap term, D's Nut.
Oh, D's Nut. Oh, okay. Right, yeah, sure.
But mine's D's Nut because I lost one of my testicles last year.
That's right.
Oh, well, hang on. There's another phone call. We need to,
we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
And you didn't replace it, did you? You didn't replace it. You chose not to replace it.
No. They said, do you want a replacement one just to make it look a bit better? And I said, oh, you've seen testicles, I've seen testicles. They're not going to look any better. Yeah. I don't think no one cares if you got 1 or 5 in there. It still looks terrible, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
On that note,
we'll have to talk about that later. Hey, thanks, Kappa. Nick Kappa,
Good day,
everyone.
Nick. Yeah.
Nick Kappa.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
No
what
worries.
a pleasure. See ya.
Oh, well, it's Kappa. Go see him. He's a very funny man. If you're looking for something at the comedy festival, he's hilarious. Kappa.
He's what I call authentic. He's
the real deal.
Yeah, he's like you, and it's just funny and authentic and just the real deal. Yep, as you
He's a
said.
funny man.
Yeah.
Do you want to show some thinking music?
Yeah, what could we have? Is there a taco ad?
Tacos.
Is there a news story about the Beaconsfield?
Oh, well, what about the moment where they get out? That was amazing, that moment they get out. You get goosebumps when you...
Yeah, okay.
About it,
So we could have the radio, the television...
the newsreader just...
News reading and do the announcement. Because it will relive the moment of when Todd and Brent...
Yeah.
Brent?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Tom Brent. Just say it quickly. Tom Brent got out of the mine. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Welcome to this special ABC News Bulletin. I'm Joe O'Brien. They're alive, they're reasonably well, and they've been rescued. That's the news the nation has been waiting to hear from Beaconsfield in northern Tasmania. Just before 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, entombed miners Brant Webb and Todd Russell made it to the top of the shaft that's kept them prisoner for nearly 2 weeks. And they amazed everyone at the site, walking from the elevator that brought them to the surface just as they said they would. After a number of heartbreaking deadlines had come and gone, a series of small explosions and hand tools were used to clear the last metre or so of rock into the cramped chamber where the pair has been pinned since Anzac Day.
Yeah, incredible.
Good on them. Seriously.
Great. Good work, guys. It's a tough job.
I wonder if they get, when they go down the shops, do people refer to it, or if they go out and say, oh, you're that? They must get a lot of that. Why do I know you?
Yeah, you're that bloke that was down the mine.
Yeah.
Especially in
Can
Tasmania.
I tell you, I watched that and I was, and there must come a point where they go, you know what, I don't want
to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about
I
it.
think they're probably at the sunglasses hat stage.
Yeah.
Where they don't want to be
I wonder if they still working. I don't think they're working the mines anymore, do they?
One of them went back to working in the mine. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think they would have got compensation, though, which hopefully set them up for life.
Oh, right.
You'd hope so. Or money
Well,
from
should.
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I really
Money
hope
for
so.
mining. Is there a lot of money in mining? I
Yeah,
don't
if you
know.
work in a mine, it is good money.
I'm joking. It's like 10% of the GDP in Australia, isn't it?
But I mean, as an individual, you'll get a good wage, but it's a hard job.
Yeah.
Really hard job.
You go over to Western Australia, do a gig over there. We did some gigs over there.
Yes.
And you go, they've got some serious money over here. And hello to all our listeners over there in Western Australia. But it's come back a little bit now, hasn't it? But,
Yes.
Yeah. But and we're still mining. Oh, we should have attempted. We should have some
go
thinking
on,
music.
go on. We've had the thinking music. What do you want to? You have a guess.
Oh,
Have a
sorry,
guess.
had the thinking music.
Mining and tacos.
I think are there mines in Mexico?
Yeah, of course, huge mines.
I reckon it's just the taco was invented as a one-handed food, like the cards that sandwiches invented, so you could keep on playing cards, which we learnt on this podcast.
We did.
The taco was invented because you could wrap the food up and take it down and still keep on working while you ate.
Very good. I'm going to say it's something to do with the name. Tacos is Mexican for explosion or something.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know.
That's
Is
good.
it? I don't know. What is the answer, Sam?
The first true type of taco was the taco de minero, or miner's taco. The term taco originally referred to the explosive powder charges used in Mexican silver mines in the late 1800s. Gunpowder was wrapped in a paper like a taquito and inserted into rocks before detonation.
Wow. Thanks, Paul.
You wouldn't want to get your tacos mixed up.
No.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Which is the blowing up one? One's on the left, blow up. The one's on the right, the one's for eating. Okay. Because buddy, what's a Mexican name? Pablo.
Jose.
Last week he bit into the wrong one, and
I remember when Jerry Lewis toured, and I didn't go and see him, which is a great regret of mine. Did you go see him? And,
Jerry Lewis, no.
Jerry Lewis played Crown Casino, and I just remember they printed some of his jokes in the paper and saying they were inappropriate. And one of them was, did you hear the Mexican fireman had 2 kids? It was Jose and Jose B. Thank you. Good night, Jerry Lewis. He's old.